unfortunately for you, we also have to record a podcast. So on that note, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name's Emma and I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host Marcie.
Hi. I have just been devastated literally seconds before recording about the fact that Karamak, which is one of my favourite chocolate bars, has been discontinued.
Due to low sales, I think you were the only person who loved that chocolate bar.
I was single-handedly keeping Karamak alive. What do you mean it's discontinued?
Oh God. Well, I don't know where to start. We have quite a few things to talk about. We do have some Leaf topics to talk about.
We do.
I guess we can start there because we usually don't. First one is congratulations to Tessa Virtue and Morgan Riley for the semi-official announcement of their upcoming child.
Woo!
For those who were off the internet this past week, Tessa Virtue posted on Instagram pictures from what I assume is a baby moon, which I think is a totally like rich person concept. I don't understand it. It's like going on a trip before you have a child to be like, it's our last trip. I don't know about you, but like I would find traveling pregnant extremely miserable.
Like, I get that it's like, ooh, a nice little like holiday where we get to go and relax, but it's like, I'm not being funny. If I'm like heavily pregnant and want to relax, I'll just sit in bed. I'll sit in bed and make my husband cook for me. Like, but that is more relaxing than traveling.
Also, as well, like what I'm also thinking about is like if you go somewhere warm, like if you go to the beach or whatever, you would have to buy like specifically like maternity bathing suits.
Like,
bathing suits are expensive enough. I don't want to buy a bathing suit that's just for when I'm pregnant.
Exactly. It's everyone's like, oh, just wear a bikini. I don't want to wear a bikini. I want to wear like just a cute
little one piece.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing back the tankinis. Why are those coming back?
I mean, I quite like tankinis. I don't own any, but I used to have one. And it was like...
When you were 12?
No, this was like up to the age of 15. And it was like... It was a pink. It was like a nice dark pink. And then like it just got like little shorts instead. And I was like, this is so fun.
I don't know. I was never a big like fan of the tankinis. It was like the sort of swimming suit I would wear. Why did I say swimming suit? Swimsuit. I've been spending too much time with you, that's why, because you call it a swimming costume, which is, because it's not a costume.
It's not a suit. You can't argue with that. It's not a suit.
Neither is my, like, race suit from when I was skiing. Like,
I don't know. We call them swimming costumes. I like swimming costumes. I think I own one swimming costume I've had for about 3 years because I don't swim.
No, I swim quite often.
I can swim, but I don't like swimming in pools. I don't know why. I will happily swim in the sea, but I don't like, in like rivers and stuff. I hate swimming in pools.
See, well, I'm a lifeguard, so
you don't get a choice.
No, I don't get a choice. I've spent a lot of time in pools. They're like so much time. I do remember where even if I would have a shower and like wash my hair, it would still smell like chlorine.
Oof.
Yeah.
I think that might be a big thing of why I don't like pools. I don't like the chlorine.
Yeah, the smell of chlorine like never really leaves, and also you become really good at picking it up. Like I will just be like walking around whatever, and I can tell if I'm walking by a pool because I can smell the chlorine in the air. And I'm like, there's a pool around here.
Like, where is it?
Where is it? But yeah, no, I had tankini. Tankini was like the like swimsuit that I would wear like if I would do like swimming lessons when I was again 12. But I don't know. I don't know why we're bringing them back. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't find them cute, but that's me.
I think the thing that annoys me is like, fair enough if you like you don't want to bring them back. There was that one TikTok that girl made, and she was like, "I've just come a bikini body. Why are you bringing tankinis back?" And I'm like, just don't wear a tankini.
Yeah.
Absolute shocker.
Like, I don't know. It's not that hard. Like, bathing suits are one of those things where it's like, I've had the same bathing suits since I was in high school. Because if you aren't swimming in them every day, like specifically my like cute bathing suits, because I've gone through like Speedo bathing suits fairly quickly because those are the ones I wear like in the pool and when I'm at work. But my like cute little like bikinis and stuff like that, I've had the same one since like high school. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't buy new bathing suits very often, mostly because I find it a hellish experience.
No, I'm gonna have to buy a new one for this summer because, well, I don't have to, but I kind of feel like I want to because I have two at the moment. One of them I've had for about 4 years, and it's really nice. It's like black and it's got like little gold like lacing in it. It's so nice. It's got a hole in it and it keeps reopening even no matter how many times I sew it back shut. So I think it's on its way out. And then I've just got like a little black and white striped one, which I think is really cute. But because like the white's kind of gone a bit yellow on it because again, sun cream. Nightmare.
Sunscreen. We're gonna have this.
It is cream that you put on your skin to protect
it's
against
it's not always a cream.
Well, the ones I use are.
You don't use the aerosol spray?
No. Why would I use? I wouldn't aerosol sun cream on.
You've never done the spray?
I do like the but not the like aerosol.
Like the spray, like a spray.
Like a little but then even then it's like kind of a liquidy cream.
Jesus Christ. This is a hockey podcast, and here we are describing liquidy cream. Well, we were on the topic of talking about Tessa Virtue, Morgan Riley's future child, and here we are talking about sunscreen.
As you do.
Sunscreen's important, kids. Wear it, please. But yeah, no, it was Tessa Virtue posted them on vacation. Very, I don't want to say prominent. No, I don't know how to. I don't know how to say this without it sounding like offensive, but I don't mean it to sound offensive. I just want to say like
she is pregnant.
She is visibly pregnant in all of the pictures that she is in. But see, that still sounds bad. I mean it very respectively. I'm very, very excited for both of them. Congratulations to them.
It's the royal baby.
This is the Canadian royal baby. Like, this baby doesn't even know it yet, but is like Canadian royalty.
This baby is gonna come out and have like face on coins on the banknote.
Specialty print like dollar bills. You know how we talk about like, oh, you know, now that the Queen has died, are we going to put King Charles's face on our $20 bills? No. We're gonna put the face of the Virtue Riley baby. Baby Virtue Riley is going on our $20 bill.
Yes. Oh.
But
you know what? Screw it. Forget King Charles. Baby Virtue Riley, I hope you like ruling. I hope you like being the King or Queen of England.
Just do a good old reverse democratic monarchy here. Instead of having
anything for the baby.
Instead of having the British monarchy sign off on Canadian laws, now we just have an actual infant signing off on British laws.
And they just do like, when like you've just had the baby and they do like the little footprints. That's how we get. There's no signature. It's just the baby handprint.
And then when the baby can graduate to finger painting, then we can start introducing the concept of a signature.
And it becomes the baby giraffe. like little doodles.
When you like, oh wait, no, because you guys don't have Thanksgiving.
No, we don't.
I was about to say,
We're gonna do the little hand turkeys.
Yes, the hand turkeys. But you guys don't have Thanksgiving, so I didn't know if you would understand the concept of a hand turkey.
No, I know of hand turkeys.
But you've never made one, though.
Considering I don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Which is a tragedy in its of itself.
I know. I'm kind of surprised that we have that as a nation who loves a good roast dinner. We have not taken up on the opportunity to just have another national roast dinner.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, because the American one is a little bit more tied into like colonization and bad things. The Canadian Thanksgiving date, which is mid-October, is purely for the celebration of the harvest season. That's what it is. It's a celebration of the harvest season. That's all the Canadian one is. Therefore, the Canadian one is the superior Thanksgiving. It also is on the better day because you're not crunching in your Thanksgiving and your Christmas celebration in the span of a month. There's some spread out time, you got some time in between having to see your family and having to stuff your face full of turkey.
Also, I want a pre-Halloween roast dinner.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Like,
no.
I'm not being funny, but like we as a country, as a great nation, should really like cash in on the whole Thanksgiving thing, because imagine how much bank Toby Carvery is gonna make.
Oh, so much money. It's like Chinese restaurants on Christmas.
So much. Like, it'd be packed. You'd have to book months in advance. You have to fight for a table. You go in, there's 15 other families waiting. There's one spare table. It's a fight to the death.
We are 13 minutes into this podcast. We have yet to actually talk about hockey. Yeah. Welcome to the off season, ladies and gentlemen.
This is what you signed up for.
This is what you signed up for. Be so very glad we're taking 6 weeks off in the summer this year.
Yeah, I don't know how much of me describing a very Hunger Games-esque situation in relation to a roast dinner.
I know, that's the thing. Like, hey, you should be running for British Prime Minister solely on the campaign of introducing Thanksgiving as a British statutory holiday.
I mean, you know what? I'm not being funny, but with the state of this country's politics at the moment, which, by the way, so very exhausting to have to just sit through and witness. I think purely my only like actual point is I'm gonna make Thanksgiving a national holiday and everyone just gets a roast dinner. I would be Prime Minister like that. Because at the moment, we've got bring back national service. And the worst leaders of the Labour Party we've ever had. And then whatever's going on with the Lib Dems. It's a nightmare, Emma.
Hey, instead of doing an interview from a paddleboard, you can provide an interview from a booth in a Toby Carvery.
Exactly. I'll just walk up. I'll have little hand turkeys all surrounding me.
Oh man,
what
a time for politics right now. Because Before we started recording today, I'm actually like so glad we didn't start recording as soon as I got home from my class. So we wouldn't have to like do the breaking news of, oh yeah, Donald Trump's been found guilty of all 34 charges, which is a great thing, but also
Austin Matthews number.
I've never seen my timeline like all come together for one thing more like better than this. It's either been Toronto Blue Jays City Connect or just people making jokes about Donald Trump being a felon.
It's incredible. I'm having so much fun right now. So like my timeline is like people tweeting about missing hockey, people going slightly insane over hockey, the UK politics, and Donald Trump. That is my entire timeline right now, and it is such an experience.
Oh my god, yeah. But anyway, so congratulations to Morgan Riley and Tessa Virtue with the official sort of, not even announcement, but just like the official announcement that they have a child on the way.
Good for them.
Good for them. No, hopefully Mo gets that dad power going into next season. We really need it.
Morgan Riley, your dad power, you need it right now. We need it.
We need it. But yeah, also as well, now we're going on from babies to taxes.
Yay! What baby Virtue Riley has to look forward to?
Paying taxes. So apparently does John Tavares, as his appeal to the CRA, or the Canadian Revenue Agency, was denied for taxes on his signing bonus to the contract that he signed when he came to the Leafs in 2018. What year was it? I don't know. But I think I have here John Tavares' tax evasion and what it means for Canadian sports teams signing pages. Because I think, okay, whatever, rich man has to pay more taxes. Okay, doesn't matter, right? You know, not that I like it sucks. Yeah, whatever. Like everyone hates paying taxes, but I think it could have a pretty big implication for Canadian sports teams in signing free agents, because essentially what is going on is because a lot of people see John Tavares not paying taxes and they automatically think, ooh, bad criminal things, which isn't the case, because it's
not criminal John Tavares.
I know we are talking about noted felon. Tax fraud. John Tavares commits tax fraud headline. But no, so what it is when he signed his contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs in, what was it, 2018? 2017? 2018. 18. Yeah. He was given a very hefty signing bonus. It was a very large sign. I think it made him like the highest paid player if you include signing bonuses in the NHL that season. Like that's how big of a signing bonus it was. And when he signed the contract, because the way that Canadian tax laws work, for those who do not pay taxes and /or not an accountant, is if you are a resident outside of Canada and you sign a contract that has, like, you sign a job and it has a signing bonus, you'll get taxed, like, especially specifically in the US, you'll get taxed like the US tax rate, which is 37% on that amount of money, and not the Ontario tax rate, which is like 56%. Universal healthcare. Reminding everyone that's why we pay high taxes. Among other things, universal healthcare is a big one, though. And so, like, if you are a US resident, which then, so John Tavares, when he signed his big signing bonus, was like, hey, look, I've been living in Long Island for the past however many years, since 2009. And so therefore I am a US resident. I am claiming this money that I signed at the start of my contract because it entered into my bank account while I was still a US resident as money that I earned as a US resident. And therefore, because of this whatever law, you can read a much better article that explains it much better, but I don't care. And therefore, like, I will pay the 37% on this. The CRA, however, is now going, wait a minute, no, because you are a Canadian who signed this contract. You have to pay the Ontario tax percentage, which is 50 whatever percent. And so this is where this debate comes in, and I think this could have some pretty major implications towards like future free agency signings, where it's like if you have been living in the US as an athlete and you're Canadian, or even it could affect Americans as well, and you sign a contract, and the reason why you decide to sign a contract with a Canadian team is because of this crazy signing bonus, which gets taxed differently than the rest of your salary. But actually, no, it doesn't. It's going to just get taxed as if it was a salary that you're earning. You're going to have less people wanting to sign here because already, like, there's already people who are, like, saying, well, no, people don't sign, like, you know, athletes tend to go towards, like, would prefer to go places where they have to pay less taxes or whatever. If you have a good enough accountant, they can make it work. This is where that makes it sound like I'm suggesting professional athletes are committing tax fraud. But especially because you have like it, yes, it could affect like the 7 NHL teams that are Canadian. It could also affect Toronto Blue Jays and the Raptors, who are both Canadian, and also MLS teams and, you know, any professional sports team. But like it could see a really huge decline in like players who want to come to play in Canada because of this tax law. And, you know, it's John. And the reason why I think it's getting so much focus on it is A, because it's like kind of a big deal. It sets the precedent, but also because it's John Tavares and associated with the Leafs. And unfortunately, it's all about the Leafs sometimes.
It is all about the Leafs.
But yeah, so with that being said, that's that story. That's kind of the update. I know we talked about it like on this podcast before when the news first dropped, and now this is like the appeal results from the CRA. I guess we could also talk about, so there was some we have like actual hockey stuff to talk about, and I'm like, well, now that we're talking about the Leafs, we can also talk about this news that came out of Chris Johnson saying that Martin Jones would like to stay in Toronto, could potentially see him signing a 2-way contract that allows him to flip more easily back and forth between the Marlies and the Leafs, depending on need and injury and cap space and whatever. Says that he liked living in Toronto with his family, that they enjoyed living in a bigger city, and that apparently he developed a very good relationship with Joseph Woll, who we know is going to stick around in Toronto.
Oh, see, the thing is, they're besties, and what can you not do? You cannot split up a group of besties. You cannot.
My favorite thing though is just like it's like Joseph Woll just getting like semi-adopted by like the two like actual like the Leafs goalies who are like actual dads.
Just like, oh yeah, these are my children, and this is my eldest son,
Joseph Woll. And I saw you look at your phone and now I'm stressed. Oh
no, it's my housemate.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was like some groundbreaking Elliot Friedman notification. But yeah, here's like
go check on it because she says, "Can you hear that alarm? It's so freaky." I cannot hear an alarm.
No, maybe she's just hearing things. So I don't know. 26-year-old Joseph Woll is the child of Leafs goaltenders.
Yeah. He's just very dearly beloved by all.
But yeah, so also as well, rumor that Laurent Brossoit could be highly targeted by the Leafs to back up Joseph Wool. He had a pretty good season with the Winnipeg Jets this past year, this last season. So who knows? Yeah.
A little bit of fun little updates.
Fun little updates. I don't know. We don't get a lot of Leafs news very often at this time of year.
No, it's so quiet.
Maybe that's a good thing.
I mean, it's a good
before-
thing because we're not finding out about anything, but it's a bad thing because what are they cooking up?
It's a bad yeah, it feels very like calm before the storm sort of deal. But yeah, so also as well, I want to talk about this quote just because like everyone's talking about this quote. It was a quote that Sheldon Keefe said during his media availability. I think you know which one I'm going to talk about. Because everybody's been talking about this quote.
Yep.
It's one that Sheldon Keefe said during his media availability as when he was introduced as the new head coach in New Jersey, which it looks weird seeing him in red, I'll say that much.
Yeah. His wife was wearing a gorgeous red suit.
I want to know if she had that ready, like already in her closet, like she just owned a red pantsuit, which like iconic behavior, or if she like specifically bought it for that.
I hope she just woke up and was like, what to wear today? What have I got in my wardrobe? Oh yeah, perfect.
Red pantsuit.
You got Keith out like looking at like buying a new red tie, and he's like, "Oh, I've got to make a good impression," and she's just like, "Yeah, I had this ready."
But yeah, so it was said that Sheldon Keefe said that a lot of high-profile coaches in the NHL contacted him after he signed. The news broke that he was going to be the new head coach of the Devils. Welcome to the real NHL. Now, people have been giving Sheldon Keefe a lot of shit for this, which I want to say, learn how to read a quote. Sheldon Keefe was not saying that. He was saying that people were telling him that. He was just the one who was delivering it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the thing is I saw a lot of people getting mad at Sheldon Keefe where it was like, guys, learn how to read a quote. Please, like, I beg of you.
How many times do we have to repeat? Look at the entire quote and not just the little snippets being tweeted.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so like what I have to, this just all ties back into like proving the point that like the Toronto Maple Leafs and like the hockey market in Toronto is crazy and insane, and there's nowhere really like quite like it. I don't want to say like, oh, because there is other huge hockey markets in the NHL. Absolutely. Montreal, Vancouver, like Montreal, I say, because I say this all the time, I think because it's partially like that is crazy for in a different way because they have the French media. It's the only team in the NHL that has a dedicated like French side to their media, and because like it's the French media, like when they talk about sports, like they don't have to talk about the other 31 NHL teams. They can be like, no, we're just going to talk about the Habs because we don't have to cover anything else because none of our readers really care about any other teams. Right?
Yeah.
We're honest. Like maybe the Ottawa Senators, but like even then, not really. And so like, and I've said this before, you can go into a Dépanneur, so like a corner store in Montreal, and right there at the cash register is like the most tabloid looking magazine you've ever seen with Cole Caulfield's face printed on the front and like some weird clickbaity headline in like one of those like tabloid magazine fonts in French.
Like Cole Caulfield grows 2 inches.
Something, or it's like something like that. Like, is Cole Caulfield really the best fit for the Montreal Canadiens? Like something like so benign and stupid that you're like, okay, this is dumb. But like that's what I said. But it's like Toronto media is so different. And it's like people are like, oh, well, what about New York? It's not the same because New York has like, you know, New York has again another hockey team.
Yeah.
2, they have 4 other, well, they have 2 basketball teams, 2 baseball teams, 2 football teams, and another hockey team, and the New York Rangers.
Yeah. There's no shortage of sports teams in New York.
Also, like, I'm not like any Rangers fan can not Rangers, any Rangers player can walk through the streets of downtown New York and like not get like almost paparazzi'd, whereas like you have like pictures of players out for dinner or out for coffee with their head coach, and then people are analyzing body language.
Yeah.
Based like, on a single picture.
Nowhere else would a single picture be taken and then people would immediately come to conclusions that, oh, they're going to take this player out back and shoot him.
Because look at this coach's body language in this one particular moment in time. Like, a picture is a singular snapshot. It is one moment in time. You don't know anything else about that interaction. Besides, at one point, Craig Berube crossed his arms. Oh, look, I'm sitting here recording a podcast with my arms crossed. This obviously means that I want to get rid of Marcie. See, when I say it out loud and like that, it's crazy.
No, it's like, because if like chances are, if I'm having a conversation with someone, if I'm listening to them, like I'm a person, my face is not like, if I'm concentrating on something, I look really miserable. So it's like if someone just takes a picture of me in a conversation and I'm like listening to someone and I look like
resting bitch face,
like kill, yeah. It's not even that. It's not even like resting bitch face. It's more just I just look really just bored and a little bit miserable sometimes. It's like someone takes a picture of that and like, so it's like Sarah's listening to you. They'd be like, "Oh my god, Marcie hates Emma." Drama in the From the Fourth Line podcast.
Gonna clip that. We start our own drama.
Yeah, it's like it just like leaks from this like new anonymous account, and it's like, oh my god, they actually hate each other.
It's gonna really throw off some plans we've got coming up if that's true.
And they'll be like, this anonymous account tweets like a really badly thrown together article, and it's like, is this the end? Is this the end of the podcast?
Podcast cancelled.
Have we listened to our last episode?
Sorry. See, you can't even take it seriously. But yeah, I think it's just like, that's just like, and you can't, I want to say like, oh, you know, with some change, you can really change things around. I don't know, man. Like, it just pisses me off that it's like, well, yeah, no, like, that's just like how crazy it is with the Leafs. It's like, oh, welcome to the real NHL. I'm like, honestly, I think Sheldon Keefe's job was harder than that. If you're saying, oh, welcome to the real NHL, you're also implying that, like, you've had it easier than Sheldon Keefe has in terms of facing the media, which I don't know, people have their own opinions on how he spoke to the media. I thought he did a pretty good job, but I don't know. My favorite was, like, if you watch the press conference on YouTube, because the New Jersey Devils live streamed it on YouTube, they kept their chat open, which I always think is really interesting.
I love when
that was more entertaining than the hour. That was more entertaining than the hour-long press conference. I'm sorry, I did listen to the press conference. I also was sitting there watching some of the most absolutely insane mock trades roll in. There was some Islanders fan in that chat shout out to that one Islanders fan who was absolutely delusional on what they could get in return for some of their players. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
We should get them on the podcast.
Oh yeah, because I'm sure the New York Islanders fan would love to come. Austin Matthews robbed.
Just below my forehead.
It's Jacob Slavin. How many penalty minutes did Jacob Slavin get this season? Also, it's Jacob with 2. Sorry, for those who don't know, they just announced the winner of the Lady Byng, and it was Jacob Slavin. 8. Is he a defenseman? No, he's a left wing. Oh, and only has 37 points. Are you kidding me? How many did Austin Matthews? Because he did go on like a little bit of a streak where he was like, I don't care.
Yeah, he did have his moment.
Okay, 20. Yeah. I'm sure you could look at like the game log for penalty minutes. I wonder if I can do that. There we go, hockey reference.
Hockey reference, we love you.
And just look at like, because there was, what, he didn't get a penalty until December 30th. And then I know there was a stretch where he got a gajillion penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. No, you know what it was? It was the game against Buffalo where everyone got game misconducts. That's what tanked him. That's where 12 penalty minutes came from.
Oh.
So he would have had 8 otherwise if you took out those penalty minutes that he got from that scrum that he was barely in the last like 30 seconds of the third period against Buffalo where he scored his 60th goal. Austin Matthews robbed for Lady Byng. I will say I was someone who for the longest time was saying just already engraved Morgan Riley's name on it. That was before he got a 5-game suspension for cross-checking Ridley Grigg.
He got suspended and then went on an absolute mad one. He was like, literally, I've been suspended now, nothing else matters.
Literally, he was like, no, but like, that's the thing. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if, I don't know. I'm just saying, because like, what were the other nominee was, it was Jacob Slavin, it was Morgan, and then it was it Kyle Connor? Kyle Connor usually wins. I don't know. I just, you know what? Do you think Austin Matthews is paying off the NHL to avoid having to go to the NHL awards to actually like physically accept his award? Is this why he didn't get the Hart nomination? Does he have to go anyways?
Please don't. I've got a holiday booked.
No, he just like doesn't want he just doesn't want to be
there.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to be like in he just doesn't want to have to be in Las Vegas the same weekend as the draft. That sounds like hell. That sounds like a hellish experience. I'm trying to
like,
find.
If he so much as breathes outside of his hotel room, there's gonna be like 30 people just like, hi.
Oh, it was Elias Pettersson. That was who else?
Oh.
How many penalty minutes did he get? I'm sorry. Like, I know it's also like off ice stuff as well. 12. Okay, here's what I don't get. Elias Pettersson, 12 penalty minutes. That's only like 2 more minors than Jacob Slavin. Elias Pettersson also scored 34 goals, whereas Jacob Slavin only got 37 points.
Mm.
No offense to Jacob Slavin. Congratulations to Jacob Slavin. Just like,
It's interesting.
I do think it's cool though that, oh, he is a defenseman. I totally misread his hockey TV page. Apologies. I think it's cool when defensemen win the Lady Byng. I take back everything I said. His plus minus was 21 this season. That doesn't mean anything. That's a garbage stat. I don't know where I am. I don't know where my brain is. I do think though that oh no, Austin Matthews is still nominated for the Ted Lindsay. He still has to go. I forgot he got nominated for that. Because I was gonna. Oh, and also the Rocket Richard as well. He has to go for that. I thought it was just gonna be like Austin Matthews wants to avoid having to go to Las Vegas, but no, he still has to go because he still has to show up for that. But I guess what were we talking? What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Also, as well, dates and times announced for the Stanley Cup Final.
Yes.
I don't have to watch, but pretty good this year actually. There is a Friday night, not Friday. There is a Saturday night game. Which is cool. There's multiple Saturday night games. I think people were complaining because of the lack of travel, but like, are people now not realizing that like you might have to go like cross continent for this one? Like the furthest we could have is if you have to go between Edmonton and Florida. That's like a possibility. Are you gonna go Edmonton to Florida and be like, all right, 1 day off in between games?
Ugh.
I don't know. I just saw someone complain about that. You can probably if I don't know, it was someone who thinks she knows more about stats than she actually does and therefore has a podcast about it. You probably know exactly who I'm talking about by just saying that. I don't want to drop her name.
No, you don't have to.
You know who I'm talking about? I don't want to drop her. Anyways, she was complaining about that. Obviously, she does not understand the logistics of travel when it comes to professional sports teams, and also as well, TV sports broadcast, like sports broadcast logistics, where you also are battling against NBA finals. And when you only have one time slot, like that's your one time slot to get viewership, you do not want to compete against the NBA because you will lose every single time. I will say though, all of the games are at 8 p.m. Eastern. Evil.
Do they not
that
consider
is so
my
evil.
sleep schedule?
Hey, I don't. All the Eastern Conference final games are at 8 p.m. 3 of 4 of them have gone to overtime, and because of the way that playoff overtime works, where it's like a full intermission in between, like the end of the third period and the start of the first overtime period, the game is automatically 40 minutes, like at least 30 minutes longer. It is a miserable experience. I am tired. I don't want to stay up and do this. I'm not even watching my team. I'm just watching 2 teams, one of which I like better than the other. I will say though, luckily though, shout out to NHL schedulers on this one, because I do have a wedding in a couple of weeks that I have to go to. There is not a game on the same day as the wedding.
Whew.
So therefore I will not be sitting there watching, because it could have been like, I was like, if it was a sweep, I would have been having to sit there with my phone out at a wedding, watching them hand out the Stanley Cup. But yeah. So
you're safe.
I'm safe. Yeah. I also wanted to bring something up, but I think I'll save it for the end, because I'm realizing how much time, what time we're at. We spent too long at the start talking about bathing suits.
And my bid for Prime Minister.
Yeah, and your bid for prime minister. We have now we can talk about like actual hockey.
Yay!
If you're still listening. Dallas and Edmonton, because I guess that game was yesterday, so we can talk about that. Chris Tanev did not return to the third period. He also has now been seen walking through the Edmonton airport in a boot. That was a weird picture to see.
Yeah.
Adding that to my collection of NHLers who have been photographed at the airport this season. Why are we up to 3?
It's leave them alone, guys. They're dealing with airport stress.
Literally, like, I'm sorry. I have never once in my life looked cute at the airport. Could not imagine being photographed at the airport. Would actually probably do something so very drastic.
Honestly, like, I'm not being funny. If you see me in an airport, I'm gonna be leggings, massive hoodie, headphones on, sleep deprived, exhausted, and like 3 pints deep. I do not want to be photographed.
That's the thing too, is like, oh yeah, there's these tables at Pearson, there's by this bar that have like little tablets attached to them where you can order drinks and food. You can also gamble.
Oh, I love a good bit of airport gambling.
I would be photographed at one of those tables because it's the only like actual like table service in some of the gates at Pearson Airport. And someone would accuse me of gambling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so also Zell, I just have written down here back and forth series. Dallas won game 3, Edmonton won game 4. Also Jason Robertson hat trick in game 3.
He did.
It was really cute seeing his brother Nick post on. Did you see he posted on his Instagram story?
Cute. I was like, oh.
But yeah, Jason Robson, the most polite looking NHLer. He just looks like a axolotl.
He looks.
Oh, are you about to get out the Squishmallow again?
Yeah. Every time we mention him, I have to bring up my little Squishmallow.
Yeah, and also as well, just of note, Edmonton is messing around with some of their lines and pulling guys in, putting guys out. It's kind of, you never really know who's playing with Edmonton, especially in their D pairs, like bottom 6 and D pairs. You're getting a shuffle, but they are sticking with Stuart, Skinner, and Net. Which, I mean, like, I don't know, like, I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Some people were like, oh, should go with Calvin Pickard. I'm like, yeah, but also, like, like, I don't know. I am not
Chris Knobloch.
I think Edmonton would burn to the ground if Chris Knobloch put in Jack Campbell in the playoffs. I think,
like, if it goes to game 7,
his head would be on a stake outside Rogers Arena. They put his head on a stake outside Rogers Arena if he did that. Could you not? They would burn the city. You thought the Vancouver riots were bad? But yeah, also as well, New York and Florida, another game going into overtime. I'm so very tired.
I'm very tired. I sit and I'm like just like watching the score and I'm like, can someone please like just score another goal so I can go to bed?
This one was Florida though. It was what, Rodriguez? No, it was Reinhardt. I don't have it written down, but I did remember. And also Blake Wheeler is back in for the New York Rangers. He was set, like he was on the 4th line. No, noted 4th line Blake Wheeler. If you had said that 3 seasons ago to a Winnipeg Jets fan, I think they would have called you absolutely insane.
Yeah. Edmund.
But yeah, he was, I don't know, Pierre Laviolette sent him out on the power play in overtime. That was a little I don't know. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand. But I don't know. Also as well, I think maybe the most notable moment from that game though is a scrum when Chris Kreider took Matthew Tkachuk's mouthguard out of his mouth and then tossed it aside.
Oh, it's so silly.
It's so deeply entertaining.
No, it's where I have deeply entertaining written in my notes.
You know, like how like Toy Story, how it's like he's got he's got the string and he's just got all these catchphrases that he's from the fourth line, but you know, it's like the Staples button, like the that was easy button, except you press it and it's just like different sayings that we always say on the podcast.
Yeah.
Deeply entertaining.
Like, you know how like back in like 2013, 2014, you'd have like the little like fart soundboard app on your phone.
When we make when we have enough money to pay an app developer and we just make a from the fourth line like soundboard.
Oh my god. Oh, that's the dream. We're very ambitious.
We're so ambitious. Yeah. But Chris Kreider, yeah. I don't know what possessed him to do that. Where he was
Whimsy.
like whimsy. Yeah. I don't know. Chris Kreider, man, has always just been the most fascinating player to me. In PWHL news, though, congratulations to PWHL Minnesota for winning the first ever Walter Cup in a 3-0 win in Game 5 against Boston. In Boston, Taylor Heisey was named playoff MVP. She got a cool little trophy. That was really cool. My only complaint is that I thought the NHL was long for handing out the Stanley Cup in terms of like having to have Gary Bettman speak, and you know, then you hand out the Conn Smythe, and then he says another thing, and then you hand. Boy, oh boy.
They know how to drag it out.
They know how to drag it out in the PWHL. I went because there was also the London Knights game on at the same time. So I was just flipping back and forth. I was like, I watched the thing countdown. I watched Taylor Heisey win, and then I switched over to the Knights game. A couple minutes go by, I switch over. Oh, they're just starting to hand out the trophy now. Perfect. Didn't miss anything. Like, I'm sure the speeches were quite nice and really cool and everything. It was just, I was like, we gotta move on.
Yeah, it's like I have a bed that is actually a pillow that is just calling my name.
Yeah, it was really cool. You know, it was a really great inaugural season for the PWHL. Really excited to see what happens next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, a Canadian team wins. For
maybe one day, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Busy coming month for the PWHL in terms of just awards and the draft, and free agency opens on June 21st. And then also as well, it was announced because we talked about how names and logos would get announced in the summer.
Yeah.
We have an actual month. It'll be August. And apparently they're all decided. They just have to work on the announcement for it and everything. So
I really hope it falls between like the 9th and 20-something.
20th, 21st.
Which, by the oh no, I can't. I don't want to get into that right now. I'll get into it afterwards.
Yeah. And yeah, for an unspecified reason that no one knows about.
For future plans.
For planning purposes, to fit both of our calendars.
Please.
Yeah. Also as well, now this is just, I don't have this part written down, but I can read it out. LA Kings have named Newell Brown as an assistant coach on head coach Jim Hiller's staff. He joins associate coach DJ Smith. That's where he ended up. Remember when everyone thought he was going to go to Toronto? That was a scary moment. Assistant coach Derek Johnson, goaltending coach Mike Buckley, and video coordinator Samson Lee. Cool. I don't know. It's just LA Kings announced their full coaching staff. He was the former assistant coach of the Anaheim Ducks, which means there's an opening over there if you're keeping track of the musical chairs of NHL coaching staffs, which is ever changing and ever moving these days. Also as well, I'm trying to scroll it up. Yeah, the Don Waddell news that we talked about last episode, official. He's a multi-year contract to serve as the club's president of hockey operations, general manager, and alternate governor for Don Waddell and the Columbus Blue Jackets. We've been new. Also as well, some news from San Jose. Top prospect Will Smith has signed his entry level contract and will be leaving Boston College to join the NHL, which has some pretty big implications because it could mean that oh my god, what's it? Brian Leonard, is that his first name? His first name, Brian? The Washington Capitals prospect. Is it Ryan Leonard?
Yeah.
Could sign his ELC and to leave Boston College because it's all a bunch of moving parts. Which also means that San Jose Sharks could have potentially Macklin Celebrini because we don't know if they're ever going to pick him first, which you would be stupid not to. Will Smith. I don't know. It's just, it seems like that was sort of, I don't want to say that is why he left. Like that's why he decided, not left, but decided to sign Will Smith, but who knows?
Who knows?
Also as well, it was official that the Seattle Kraken had named Dan Bylsma as their new head coach. The cool thing about this is that it is not heavily implied, but like rumored. I hate using the word rumor, but like very likely, I should say, that Dan Bylsma names Jessica Campbell as one of his assistant coaches, which would make her the first female coach to be behind an NHL bench, which is really cool. She's done a fantastic job with the Coachella Firebirds, so
give her the job.
Give her the job. But yeah, also as well, Stanley Pups were announced. If you've seen the really cute pictures, there's a bunch of the Stanley Pups. They're very cute. All of them are very adorable.
I think I have a list of my personal favorites.
Yeah, you do? Go ahead.
Of course I do. Expect nothing less. Roman Yorkie. Gotta be one of my favorites. I saw that, I was like, oh my god. It's so tiny. Quinn Chews. Solid name. Very clever. David Pastrnak. Oh. And then, obviously, Austin Matthews. Which, by the way, how does that dog look so much? How do all the dogs look so much like the people in
They
it?
went out there and they were like, yeah, we're gonna find the most we will find dogs that look exactly like the players we're naming them after.
They went out and like,
hilarious.
Right, we're gonna name this dog after Austin. We need to find a dog with a receding hairline.
We need to find a dog that looks like Austin Matthews. It's like Yeah, like, I'm sorry, Alex Ovechkin. This dog looks like Alex Ovechkin.
does.
Roman York. That is Austin Matthews. Anders Leash. That looks like Anders Lee, which, because I don't know about you, but Anders Lee to me is the most like unsettling man to look at.
No, there's something about him.
I don't know what it is.
I think he just looks too symmetrical.
He's too visibly perfect.
Yeah, it's like, where are your flaws? Because I know you have them.
I don't know. He just looks so like it's the fact that his chin is so large, like his facial features are so like yeah, I don't know. It's like, but his mouth is so big, but at the same time it looks so small in comparison to his chin. And like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about Anders Lee. He just like is off settling. I don't know. Feels weird when I look. Like I don't know. He's just like I don't know.
He's just too symmetrical.
I don't know what it is.
I don't
He's
like
so unsettling to look at.
No, you know what? He looks, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, he looks like he would be in Toy Story as a plastic toy.
We redo Toy Story, but you just cast Anders Lee as Woody.
Anders Lee is everyone.
And he just like
Anders Lee is Bo Peep.
this is our 2024 King Clancy winner as well. Congrats to Anders Lee for that, but yes. Anyways, like I don't know. I'm sorry. Like Connor McDoodle. That I thought that Connor McDavid's own dog looked enough like him.
That is a dog that has lived 1,000 lifetimes.
There's so much like
Horror
and sadness behind those two little beady eyes.
Oh.
Sorry, did you see Anze Kopitar? Well.
Stop.
And Brady Sharpay.
Brady Sharpay, I love you with all my heart.
That's Brady Shea.
It is. It's the eyes.
And also like anyways, a burr.
The everything. But I really appreciate how Quinn Hughes has somehow perfectly, in its short life on this planet as a dog, has just perfectly captured the deeply traumatized, very troubled eldest daughter look just perfectly.
Yeah. I guess we have time at the end. So, because what I wanted to talk to you was I've been getting a lot of stuff on my TikTok For You page for a CTV show that is a total product of CanCon, which if you don't know what CanCon is, I'm very passionate about the topic of CanCon. I'm taking a public broadcasting course right now, and it's my favorite course because all I get to we talk so much about CanCon and Canadian content.
Your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do. But yeah, so CanCon, it essentially is its rules in place in regards to Canadian broadcasting and radio and television, where a certain percentage of things that are broadcasted have to be Canadian content. And there's different ways of figuring it out. It's why we have like weird bands that only get big in Canada. And it's like why I know every word to every single Justin Bieber song, despite being a very adamant Justin Bieber hater, is because they play him on the radio all the time. But because of this, it also means like for television as well, we have to have shows that are Canadian, and the easiest way to do this is to make like Canadian versions of pre-existing reality TV shows. That's why like Amazing Race Canada exists and like MasterChef Canada exists and stuff like that. But one of these shows is called Farming for Love. It is a show about these farmers who are trying to find love. It's like a dating show. And so they have these people who are...
Stop, I've seen that. I've seen that.
It's on CTV. Have you gotten the TikToks as well? Now, there's one in this upcoming season that I kid you not, I had to look him up on Instagram to make sure that he was not related to Bobby McMahon. I'm gonna send you like one of the TikToks that I keep getting, and I'm going to need you. I'm going to need you to look at this, man and tell me he does not remind you of Bobby McMahon.
Oh. See, I'm having a look on the Instagram now.
Hold on, I'm sending you a TikTok that's like his 2 truths, 1 lie. And I saw this, and then I had to go to Instagram and look up his Instagram and be like, do you know, like, is your last name McMahon?
Stop. Do you know the fact that I just went onto the Farming for Love Instagram, immediately pressed on a picture, and that's who she's talking about?
I'm gonna need everyone to go on like the Farming for Love TikTok or the Farming for Love Instagram page and just look at this.
He was a hockey goalie! Yay! We love goalies, and also people that look like Bobby McMahon.
Bobby McMahon. But like it's about like from Calgary, Alberta. It was a hockey goalie, played hockey growing up, hates the Edmonton Oilers. I'm like, you are. How do I know you're not Bobby McMahon?
Yeah, how are you not just like Bobby McMahon in a hat?
Bobby McMahon in a cowboy hat. But anyways, that was the thing I wanted to bring up earlier, but I was like, I'll leave it till the end if we don't have enough time. But we did have enough time for me to bring it up. But yeah, I don't know. I've yet to see a single episode of Farming for Love. Perhaps maybe I will watch it after I'm done with watching The Valley, because that has been my thing, is I've been getting really into the trash reality TV show, but I might watch Farming for Love for the Bobby McMahon lookalike. Not the first time I have watched a reality TV show for the lookalike of a Toronto Maple Leafs player.
Why are we gonna do that all over again?
I've gotten Marcie to watch a full season of a reality TV show for lookalike Toronto.
It's the way that was your selling point as well.
I was like,
watch this, and I'm like, why?
I'm like, looks like just a picture
of him, and I'm like, okay, that's why.
Oh man. Anyway, what we're talking, go watch like the previous season, not the most recent season of The Amazing Race, the one that like either just finished airing or is airing right now. I haven't really been keeping up with it. Go watch the previous season of The Amazing Race, and I will give you one guess as to who we possibly could be talking about. The best part,
Speaking of TV and hockey, I watched Miracle twice in the last 24 hours.
You have a problem. I love Miracle. I think Miracle is a great movie. I love it.
Look, okay, in my defense, once was with my housemate, because I made her watch it. The second time was this afternoon as I was cleaning the kitchen. But I still watched it twice in the last 24 hours. So this is my off-season letterbox segment, which is very quick. My last 4 watched, because it's very entertaining. You've got Miracle, Minions: The Rise of Gru.
I haven't seen Minions: The Rise of Gru.
I've
seen the other Minions movie. I have not seen Minions: The Rise of Gru.
It was better than I thought it would be.
Huh?
And then Notting Hill, because
Notting Hill is a classic. Love Notting Hill. It's a great movie.
incredible.
I'm obsessed with
Because
you.
my housemate had never seen it. And I'm like, how? Turns out my sister's not seen it either. So it's because I was talking to my mum about it. Because it is my mum's like favorite movie.
She's
I was
not
like,
seen it.
I know.
Well,
I don't know how.
Well, I know what I'm gonna do. But how good it's like Notting Hill Hugh Grant,
Beautiful.
a beautiful, beautiful man.
Gorgeous man.
You read my mind, Mar.
But oh my no.
Exactly what I was thinking.
But it's just it's such a good movie. And as well, I am such a big member of the Spike fan club because he is so completely batshit insane that I just love him. Like, I'm not being funny. He is the only person on the planet who would open the door in tiny little grey briefs with one cheek hanging out and just go, there are so many people with cameras. I'm going to strike a pose. He's just loving it a bit. But no, that was my little letterbox segment because I've decided.
I love Notting Hill. I watched it on the train. It was such a pleasant experience. I had that and Rush downloaded for my train once, and that's what I watched on the train. My favorite thing is to make Simon watch romantic rom-coms with me because he cannot do secondhand embarrassment. I've told you. I've told you about when we were watching Bridget Jones's Diary
and
together.
You had to pause it for a good 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. It's like
I would never make you pause Bridget Jones's Diary for 10-15
we
minutes.
watched because he also had never seen Dirty Dancing, and so I made him watch that with me. I know. I was like, this is the most upsetting news I've ever received in my entire life. Because this is me who doesn't plan much about my future eventual hypothetical wedding. As a kid, I didn't have the scrapbook or the wedding box or whatever. But I did have a couple things thought out, and I was like, okay, one of them is okay, my first dance would love to do if I could actually dance the dance from Dirty Dancing at the end, or High School Musical. Have you seen High School Musical 3?
Have I seen High School Emma?
Well, my boyfriend has not, so he hasn't seen any of them.
Right, I'm not being funny, Emma, but I would do the Dirty Dancing dance with you now.
Would you also do the one from High School Musical 3 when they're on the roof of the school?
Yes!
Have also thought about having that be my first dance at my wedding.
You know what? We'll do that at our wedding, with the rain included.
The rain included? We'll have a rain show in the middle of our wedding.
Or just we'll just have people just on really tall ladders with buckets of water, just because we're on a budget, we don't have the money for a rain show.
So it won't be like Tom Holland's
we do the High School Musical 3 dance into Tom Holland's umbrella dance. Costume change and all.
Full costume change.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, but yeah. We're gonna watch the High School Musical movies. We tried to watch one of them together, and I know that one's I think the hardest one for him to get through because there's a couple scenes that even I remember me as a kid I didn't like. The one in the gym with his dad and Gabriella, you know which one I'm talking about, that one. Hated that one as a kid. Yeah, no, I didn't like it either. And then the one at the start, the karaoke at the start. And then them Like, there's multiple, right? Where I'm like, he would not be able to get through this movie. I don't
No.
think so. Kenny
He
Ortega,
would
like,
not survive.
this is a Kenny Ortega fueled nightmare for him. Who also did the choreography for Dirty Dancing and the parade scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Kenny Ortega truly has just been doing my favorite.
Person.
Oh, absolutely. I was the one who got all of my friends on Julie and the Phantoms right when the show came out.
No, because
they all hate me for it now.
I was thinking about Julie and the Phantoms. Like, when you were talking about him, I was like, Andy did Julie and the Phantoms.
I was the one who got all of my friends on Julie and the Phantoms when it came out, like, right, and they all still hate me for it because they have, like, that show got canceled.
I will never recover from, because me and my friend were watching it together on FaceTime. I will never recover from when we both watched Unsaid Emily at the same time, having not seen it before, and we both just kind of like looked at each other, paused it, and just cried.
Honestly, so upsetting. Like, so upsetting. But it's such a good. Anyways, if you haven't seen Julie and the Phantom, go watch it. My favorite thing is, like, Charlie Gillespie. I knew before watching Julie and the Phantoms because he was on Degrassi.
Oh my god.
And he was on The Next Step, which are, like, the two, like, Canadian, like, teen shows that I was absolutely obsessed with. I've seen every episode of Degrassi. I've seen every episode of The Next. Well, no, I haven't seen the most recent ones, but I saw, like, I was obsessed with The Next Step, like, in middle school.
I never got into The Next Step.
It was so good.
Like,
again,
I get, like,
Canadian TV.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, you know, he was on both.
You know what?
It was
one
really
product of
like,
Canada that I, to this day, love very dearly: the Anne of Green Gables movies. I grew up watching them.
The movie, not Anne with an E?
Not Anne with an E. I didn't like Anne with an E. I had to stop watching it. The Anne of Green Gables movies, a formative experience for me. It shaped me as a person, which actually, now think about it, is very obvious. Not like I'd go to my grandma's house and I'd get the little book of DVDs out, and I'd sit there and I'd flip through it and I'd pick out Anne of Green Gables and I'd just sit there after school and watch as much as I could before I had to go home. And oh my god, because I had the DVD and I still have the DVDs at home, but they've stopped working because they're scratched and they've been watched too much. So I've had to. I did, however, because I was looking to buy the actual physical DVDs again, and it was so expensive. It was so much money.
Like the 1985 movie? Yeah?
It was 1985.
Why? Or is this a TV series? I'm trying to figure out.
1985, yeah.
1985 or 95?
85.
85.
Some, like, genuinely still some of my favorite movies ever.
I feel like I could watch this somewhere. Oh, I didn't want to open that in a new window, whatever. Oh, can I just, like, watch it? Dazebox TV. No, you have to pay $13.99 to have it on Gazebo TV. I'm not paying that. What do you mean I can't just, like, watch it for free on, like, CBC Gem?
You're literally Canadian. How is that not allowed?
I know, that's the thing. It's like this.
But no, the thing is, I was looking and I found the Gazebo TV thing, and I was like, I really just want to cave and just pay, but I also really want the physical DVDs.
I don't know. I would have thought that I could, because it aired on CBC. I could have sworn like you could just like watch it like this is so anti-Canadian. So anti-Canadian. But you say like I'm trying to think of like what like British TV shaped me, and the only thing that's coming up is like BBC Sherlock, and not in a good way. Do you know how many times every time it like I don't plug my phone in on the first time, I just hear like, oh, it's because you're an alcoholic. From the first episode.
I've found the Anne of Green Gables, the complete trilogy, £12.20 for the VHS tape.
Okay. Do you have a VHS player?
My grandma does. Still, impressively.
I mean, I can't say anything. I own 3 actual DVDs that are mine, like that I myself own. I do not have anything to watch said DVDs on.
Have you seen how many DVDs? I have so many DVDs.
I have 3.
I don't currently have a DVD player.
I have 3. I do not have a DVD. I have Star Wars, Attack of the Clones, Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What more could you want?
Truly the only 3 movies you need. Toss me on a deserted island with those 3 movies, a TV and a DVD player.
Oh.
Though we will never come close to Cal's DVD collection. That is honestly impressive.
He has so many DVDs. I have a lovely DVD shelf. Although, if you count all the DVDs in my house at home, I think my collection very easily rivals his.
No, my parents got rid of all of our DVDs. Actually, no, they still have some, but they don't have as many. They don't have very many. We do have, like, a couple of those animated Scooby-Doo movies on DVD, though. And, like, Cars 2. Or, like, the original Cars.
Mm.
And then all the Harry Potter movies. And
Yeah.
the Percy Jackson movies.
But no.
Yeah.
Watch Anne of Green Gables if you haven't. Everyone who's just sat and listened to me talking about Anne of Green Gables for 10 minutes. Oh dear. They did a BBC drama. So right now I'm just looking on eBay.
No, you're just looking on eBay. But I guess that's like all from us.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have.
I don't think I do.
Okay. Well, neither do I. So.
Crazy.
Crazy. With that being said, I guess we'll end it here. We'll be back on Monday.
We will.
To discuss, I don't know, stuff.
Whatever happens over the weekend.
Whatever happens over the weekend. I don't know. I'm going, I don't know. Hopefully there's an episode on Monday. I could be dead.
Yeah, this could be our last ever episode, guys. Emma might die.
My boyfriend's taking me mountain biking for the first time. I've never been before. I'm very much afraid I'll end up like David Malukas, and with a broken wrist.
I should go mountain biking. Could you wonder how fun that'd be? You're so tired.
I'm actually so very much afraid because the thing is like I have to like come back from that alive because I made plans to go meet a friend for dinner afterwards. I did give her the warning. I was like, hey, fair warning. Simon's taking me mountain biking. Should be good to go if I don't end up
Dead.
or in ER. It's because I was like, oh, don't worry, you'll be fine. I'm still very much afraid.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I don't even know what to wear. Like, that's the thing, is I have no idea even what to wear. I've never been before. So
Yeah.
perhaps maybe I will discover a new sport that I've fallen in love with, or I will be very, very upset with my boyfriend for making me do this.
Who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, hopefully we'll have an episode on Monday. And I don't know. I didn't pull a David Malukas and ended up with a broken wrist. There's some IndyCar references for you guys.
One that I understand.
One that you understand because you got told the lore and then you were shown multiple pictures of David Malukas and now he's your favorite guy.
Yeah. That's how it works.
That's exactly how it works. But yeah, thanks you guys so much for listening. You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow the show on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. That's fourth with the number 4 TH. You can follow Marcie on Twitter at 60 Leafs. You can follow myself over there at PairB1. Wow, I'm just realizing I'm gonna have such a busy weekend because it's also the Canadian Open this weekend, which means it'll be the one golf tournament a year that I actually pay attention to. Canadian Pride. Hey, last year a Canadian won and it was well worth it.
Woo.
And my parents were there, so my mom kept sending me pictures of Rory McIlroy.
Real.
So very real.
So real.
But yeah. I just realized we never talked about the London Knights.
We didn't.
Well, Easton Cowan basically sent them to the Mem Cup finals.
I'm saying it now. I'm putting it out there. He's gonna score the game winner.
Well, no, we're putting it out on the internet, so I'm not gonna put it out here. I'm putting it out there. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. That's all for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.